Hot Water Wrestling here to chime in on Break the Walls 10's recent video about the whole TNA thing. Taking the time to actually fix my hair up now that I'm looking in the camera. Okay, how does that look? It looks a lot better when it dries, you know? Ooh, there you go. Ooh, up, left to right, right to left. Ooh, God, what's going on? Shit. All right, let's get down to business. I'm just, chiming in here on WWE Forever 98's little rant he just went on. Trying to figure out the reason behind TNA's bookings is like trying to figure out the reason why the Jonas Brothers sell so many records. It's impossible. One thing, as much as WWE has lacked in the past months, one thing about that company and what it's always done well is that it has always sailed smoothly. They are very professional and very precise, and they get their storylines and their bookings together, and they see them out and they play them out, and they get the viewer from A to Z. One of the problems I had with WCW back in the day, and why I didn't watch it all that much, is because the writing and the storylines were just all over the place, complete mishmash. And you had guys, coming on the show for 2 weeks and getting involved in a storyline, and then they just vanish, or you watch for 2 weeks and then you come back 3 weeks later and you take 3 weeks off from watching it, and 3 weeks later the whole company's turned upside down and all this different shit's happening that had nothing to do with anything you were watching. The sporadicness of it, bad planning, bad timing, bad booking, bad spots, bad wrestling. WCW, I'm sorry, that's how I feel about it. There are some amazing moments in WCW, absolutely. You got your Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair's, and the actual Bash at the Beach with the nWo. You have good matches sprinkled in there, but for the most part, a disaster. And here we are with TNA. Now, they're a company that during 2008 and especially 2009 were really getting on track. I was really into TNA. I was like, wow, they're filling a void. They're not an entertainment company like WWE, but they're not completely indie like ROH. They're kind of right there in the middle between it all, and they have the talent and they have the momentum. And I was so excited about TNA, and I was really excited when Hogan and Bischoff came in. I never would have dreamed in a million years that these guys would completely 100% rest on their laurels. I mean, they could have called me, and I could have sat down and written out a better booking for the year of 2010. I could have written the whole goddamn year out practically. Okay? Better than them. I could have done it in 3 days. Okay? I am shocked, disappointed, and heartbroken. I don't want to see Hulk Hogan, one of my favorite wrestlers and one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And many people love Hulk Hogan. And you should love Hulk Hogan. Okay? He's fucking awesome. But right now, he's just tarnishing his legacy worse than any athlete ever has. It just makes me so sad and so heartbroken to see this run so horribly. And TNA has been run so horribly. Every time I've tuned into TNA, I've just been utterly disappointed in 2010. It started on January 4th, and it just hasn't fucking stopped. Just terrible. I mean, I'm scared to even watch Bound for Glory. I probably will, because from what I hear now is the show was pretty good, but the moment of Hogan and Bischoff was so screwy it pissed everyone off. So if the show's good, and since I already know that's going to happen, I think I will watch Bound for Glory. But I was just adding to the conversation here that Bobby was having, and I can see why the guy's frustrated, completely frustrated. I've given up on TNA after lockdown. I gave up on them. I came back for that hardcore thing they had, which was dismal. I mean, just pathetic. It was almost like they let their relatives run the show or something, like someone who was like an accountant. Like they just said, yeah, Uncle Bill, you want to book this pay-per-view? Yeah, Dixie, let me come in and book the pay-per-view for you. I mean, just ridiculous bullshit. Anyways, but you know, WWE, going back to that, that's one great thing about that company that'll always keep them up, is that they have a wonderful level of professionalism. They see their storylines through. They think them out. No, they're not perfect at all. You know, there are their exceptions. There are bumps in the road for WWE, absolutely, but that's the way it is in the wrestling business, and the way it is when you're doing things on a very quick pace and you're doing lots of live events. There's things you can't always control. So that does come into play. And I'm not agreeing with all the booking WWE does by saying this. I want to make that clear. I'm not agreeing with all their booking. I'm just stating that their booking is well thought out, and it's executed well, and there's a level of professionalism in the company, and you feel like they're driving the bus and they're in control. TNA is like a fucking drunk, whacked out circus clown driving the bus wildly all over the freeway, and you don't know if you're going to flip upside down or go down a ditch or end up at Playboy Mansion. Okay? I mean, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. Yeah, it is frustrating, and TNA needs to get their act together, or else they're going to go down, 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 and it'll be really, really sad. They were doing so well in 2008 and 2009, and it's so sad to see what's happened now. I don't know who's going to come in there and fix that company. Just have to wait and see, but for now, it just, you know, I don't know. I'll talk to you guys later. Good video, Bobby. See you next time on Hot Water Wrestling.